And welcome back to Sin and Fin, the Dugout Decision Show.
Unfortunately, the NL East owns us this year. It was the Braves first at the beginning of June. We lost the series there, and now it's the Phillies. Had Mad Max going out there. You had Dylan Cease come back, look great in his return. A couple of guys back in the rotation, but ultimately you do lose a series. Kind of tough way to start June. You have two series losses now. Tough. You get the series win against the Orioles. Not a great way to start. You're still facing good teams, right? Like I know the Phillies lineup, not great on paper. You look at some of these guys, and a lot of them have like 600 OPSs. Listen, Kyle Schwarber can absolutely murder the baseball. Bryce Harper can absolutely kill the baseball as well. They got some really good pitching. I said before the series, yeah, let's win the Christopher Sanchez day and take a series. A little bit off on that. A little bit off. I'll admit we won the Zach Wheeler day. I don't know how we won that. He's still a nasty pitcher. I mean, should be a Cy Young winner at this point. But nonetheless, you get at least that game. Do lose the series ultimately. So we will begin with our series struggles. And I hate to do it with my man, Max Scherzer. We just got to do it. Like 3,500 strikeouts. Want to start with that. Shout out to the dude. And I'm not even going to get to the struggles part first. I just want to focus on that. Unbelievable that he's done that. I believe he's now entered the top 10 or he's at 11th all time in strikeouts. The only other active pitcher with 3,500 strikeouts is Justin Verlander. So unbelievable for him to do that. Does he go into the Hall of Fame as a Blue Jay? I don't know. Are we doing that? I mean, he's been horrible in the regular season for us, but the playoff stuff he did for us, started game 7 of the World Series. Like, let's not forget that, and was better than Shohei Ohtani in game 7 of the World Series. So shout out to him for doing that. I'm not going to mention the struggles yet. Just wanted to focus on that. Shout out to him for getting 3,500 strikeouts. Cool to see him do that.
Yeah, for sure. And just going back to the series, the series played out just as I had predicted in the last episode.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I think I picked the exact games. I think we'd take the middle game or something like
Yep.
that. I said we were going to lose 2 out of 3, and it was as like just depressing of offensive baseball as you would
Mm-hmm.
see, despite our comeback in game 2. So we'll get to that, but it's just funny how predictable the series was and how
Yeah.
unpredictable baseball can be sometimes. And so back to Max Scherzer. Great job, Max Scherzer. What was this the reason why he came back this year? I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out. Maybe we won't. But super cool accomplishment. I saw some people saying, "Oh, 3,500 strikeouts like might not ever happen again," which is
Yeah.
kind of a crazy thought. And so it's a heck of a lot of strikeouts, and the guy's been around forever. You look back to like his Arizona Diamondbacks days and things like that, and you're just like, wow, this guy has been around such a long time, and he's succeeded at such a high level for a long time. And even with his struggles this year that we'll get to, still kind of a neat reminder that a guy who has 3,500 strikeouts is pitching for the Toronto Blue Jays, and
Yeah.
so cool stuff. Even though the stuff that we talked about that actually happened in the game didn't go as well.
I mean, I've been saying for a while, just make the guy a pitching coach, right? Like at this point, unfortunately, we just have guys that are pitching better on this team on the field. He's got a 10.23 ERA on the season now. And when you look at in the regular season, in the 2 years he's been with the Jays, I don't have the numbers on hand. It's like over a 6 ERA because it was a 5 something last year and it's a 10 now. Playoffs again. Yes, he was a demon in those playoffs games. Did he just need like the 20 days of rest or whatever he got to be good in the playoffs? I guess. And we got the demon moment where he tells John Schneider to go back to the dugout and all that. Yeah, but I think we're kind of running our course with Max Scherzer. Like again, when you look at the regular season numbers, I still remember like that Royal start last year. He gave up like 10 in the first inning or something like that. The breaking ball's just not there. That's what I noted from this game. Gave up a huge tank to Alec Boehm, a 3-run tank, I think in like the fourth inning of this game. He's just leaving sliders over the plate. It's like 84, 85, like right down the middle. That's just not going to work against big league hitting. As much as some of those Phillies hitters have sucked this year, and Alec Boehm has not been good this year. Like first month of the season had like a 500 OPS, but still, you leave 85 slider right over the plate. Look at Jeff Hoffman. Don't I keep saying this with Jeff Hoffman? Like you leave the slider over the plate, the guys on the Orioles are going to crush it. The guys on the Braves are crushing it. So 3 and a third inning for Max here, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 tanks given up. It's just not quality stuff. I remember saying with Max Scherzer, can you give us like 5 innings of 2 run ball? It's 3 innings of 5 run ball. So not exactly what we're looking for. I don't know. Like when we have Shane Bieber coming back and you start to fill up this rotation, look at what Spencer Miles has done this year. Like, I don't know. I don't think Max Scherzer is going to accept like a long relief role. Like, can we just put this guy in the IL for the rest of the season? He just coaches the guys in the dugout, do like the Phantom IL thing. I don't know. But to me, I don't know how much longer the leash is. Like, do you feel comfortable running this guy out there every 5 days? Because I don't, honestly. Against big league lineups, I don't feel comfortable running Max Scherzer out there every 5 days.
Oh, not at all. I was not confident at all going into this start, just because it's tough watching him against left-handed batters,
Yeah,
and like the Phillies have some of the best, as I said before, with Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, as you said, and Justin Crawford is he's a young gun too, and he's been
yeah.
performing real well. Bryson Stott, all those guys, and yeah, I was on a walk with my mom, like first inning before watching the rest of the game. I just got the little Bryce Harper home run
Yep.
notification. I was like, that's so unsurprising. It's just not motivated ball. And there was an at bat that stuck out to me early in yesterday's game, and it was him against Justin Crawford, and he's just like trying to get him with the fastball. And I think it was Joe Siddle made a really good remark. Like you can't beat him with the fastball anymore. Like you just
Nope.
can't beat him with the fastball. Because Crawford was late on a few fastballs and he was trying to beat him with it. It's 93 miles per hour. It's not that won't beat anyone in a league where I saw like the Red Sox brought up like a 35-year-old just chucking 102. Like just that will not happen in 2026. And
Nope.
so we got the repercussions of that, and it'll be interesting what the Blue Jays do next. Is it Scherzer Phantom IL? Is it Scherzer straight out retiring? I don't know. There
Ugh.
could be so many different scenarios here, and so like, do you run SWR in the Scherzer spot because he
Ooh.
looked pretty dang good. So just a few different scenarios there, and he did not impress or show me anything that I didn't already know in his last start against the Phillies.
Well, I think that's actually a perfect way to continue the discussion of the starters because the next guy I have is Patrick Corbin. And I kind of want to like lump these two guys together. Look, the former Nationals that won the World Series together. Unfortunately, I feel like these are the two guys that kind of go together. Like again, Scherzer, you don't feel confident in. And Corbin, as much as he's done for this team, like he's been great. The ERA is now up to a 4.55 after that last Philly start. Again, I remember saying it with the Twin start, his very first start with the Jays. Like when you're leaving 84 cutters right down the middle, he might have been rusty then, yes, but still, he doesn't have the 98 mile an hour, 95 mile an hour fastball. He's working with like 90, 91. Like, does he become an odd man out? I don't know. When Bieber comes back, and like you said, is it an SWR? Like, are those the two? SWR and Bieber. They take the spots of Corbin and Scherzer. I don't know. Do you just try and stretch out Spencer Miles? I know we talked about that, but like, I don't know if you can run bullpen games the rest of the year, but that might be better than Max Scherzer, Patrick Corbin at this point. I don't know. Like, I don't feel confident with either. Obviously, I feel more confident with Corbin than Scherzer, but still, 3 innings for Corbin, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a home run given up. Like, I know we don't have other lefties in the rotation, but he just feels like if he's continuing this against good lineups, he had some good starts like against the Pirates. I'll never forget that. Amazing start. Outdoed Paul Skeens. That didn't really seem like it was sustainable. I don't know if he was going to really continue that. Like there was some hard contact that was getting caught there. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe Bieber and SWR. Like I have Esther at WR in the standouts. We're going to talk about here later. He looked pretty good, honestly. For the first time we're seeing him, the guy that was promised 5 years ago for us. Yeah, I think I'd rock with that, honestly, at this point, because you can't afford when this team is 3 games under 500. I don't know how many more games you can afford to keep losing, right? Like they're trying things, move Vlad to the leadoff spot, try different guys in the rotation, maybe. Like some things aren't working, but the point is they're trying different things to get going. Because when you look at last year, we want to keep comparing to 2025. Well, at this point last year, we were like 4 or 5 games over 500. That's not where we are right now. We're like 3 under. So I think I like that idea. Maybe try Bieber and SWR and get rid of the other two guys. Maybe stretch out Corbin to like a long roll guy and Scherzer, like you said, just retire, become a pitching coach or something.
Yeah, I think when Bieber comes back, that's a good situation because right now we have two kind of iffy starters, as we've talked about in
Yeah.
Scherzer and Corbin, and so Bieber coming back, and it seems a lot sooner than I think both of us had anticipated. Like one
Yeah.
more start in Buffalo, I think it's today. We're
Yep.
recording here on June 11th, the Thursday, so I
Yep.
think it's today, and then the next start through it might be with Toronto, which feels kind of crazy, and hopefully it's not too accelerated, but with that, I think like you just can't have Scherzer starting anymore. With Corbin, I've seen flashes. Like I've seen flashes of competence. Like to
Yeah.
just just give us what you got as a fifth starter. I don't see like right up there with Dylan Cease and Kevin Gausman stuff, and that's not what I need to see either. I just need you to be in there and giving us innings, like kind of been like a Chris Bassett, like just give us a bunch of innings role, but like a no names brand Chris Bassett, and
Yeah.
um, I think you keep Patrick Corbin in, and maybe do a piggyback thing with like SWR and Patrick Corbin. I think that would be kind of interesting. Doesn't sound like I'm sure listeners didn't perk up
Yeah.
hearing like SWR and Patrick Corbin piggybacking, but I think that would be interesting. Um, I'm kind of just like thinking of stuff as I'm talking here, but they're lefty righty. So if you start SWR and then they put all their lefties in, then you bring in Patrick Corbin to face all the lefties, something like that. And like SWR was not good as a starter this year, and his velo ticked up and everything when he came in a reliever role.
Yeah.
What you do there, outright DFA sounds harsh, so I don't know. I would do something like Phantom IL if that's a possibility, but it's just a tough situation right now. I just wish some guy would just come in and be excellent. Hopefully SWR does that because he showed flashes. Like his
Yeah.
velo was up 1.5 ticks, and he threw a ton of his four seam fastball, but which has gotten crushed this year, but it looked decent along with his off speed pitches. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what the Blue Jays do, but I think it'll be interesting, whatever they decide on.
Maybe like again, we're in the middle of June here almost, right? Like about a month and a half away from the trade deadline. Maybe that's just something they do to get to the trade deadline. And then if they really need to, go for a starter. Like I remember we
Yeah,
talked about that about a month ago, and I said, like, are we really in the market for a starter after we had the 9, 10, however many starters in the offseason? Probably. Probably we are, given the way it's gone. I don't know if rest of the season you want to run that. I don't mind that combo for now, running those two, but rest of the season, I probably wouldn't want those two. Can you get me through a month and a half? SWR and Patrick Corbin is basically what we're asking for you here. And Shane Bieber, can you come back and have at least like 93, 94 and not leave the curveballs over the middle of the plate? Can you do that until middle of August and then, or middle of July, beginning of August rather, and then go get me a Joe Ryan or something? I don't know. Like that guy's on the trade block every single year. At some point, if he's on the trade block every year, the value's got to be going down because no one wants to give up anything. So I don't know, pull like you did for Louis V last year. I don't know, pull a Kendry Rojas and Alan Roden and go get Joe Ryan. I don't know, because the whole Tarek Skubal thing. I mean, first of all, I want to see how the guy looks. He looked pretty good in his rehab start. I don't know how the guy's coming back already. I think he's pitching for the Tigers later this week or next week. I don't know how he's touching 100 already. Crazy. They figured out some new surgery for him, the loose bodies, and like I thought Jose Barrios was going to get that. Like maybe we can do that surgery for him, and he's back in like a month or something. But no, it's TJ. Of course, our luck in 2026, whatever it is, Scooble, a Joe Ryan. It doesn't have to be a Sandy. Sandy's on the trade block all the time. Someone. I feel like we are getting to that point where we actually might need a starter because, like I said, long term, SWR, Patrick Corbin, I don't know. And I kind of like the prospect of Spencer Miles, Patrick Corbin, maybe a little bit more because Miles, you can get 97, 98, and then you show something a little different with Patrick Corbin, right? Like SWR, Patrick Corbin are both like 91, 92. Like it's the same. It's just from a different arm, right? Like one's a righty, one's a lefty. So nonetheless, we don't have great options. The point is long term. Talking about the offense though a little bit because we talked about the pitching here and how it wasn't obviously great in this series, apart from Dylan Cease, who we will get to later. I don't have some individual names here. We'll get to that in a little bit later here, but I just have the offense in general in games 1 and 3 of this series, which was pretty much putrid to watch. There were some moments, but you look at games 1 and 3, you get 8 hits in game 3, 6 hits in game 1, not a single extra base hit in game 3. And I talked about this before. In the games that the Blue Jays have gotten at least 2 extra base hits, there's a good chance they win a ball game. None. They get 4 extra base hits in game 1, but what do? They leave 10 runners in scoring position. 0 for 10 in runners in scoring position. You leave 6 runners on base. Then you flash to game 2 here. What happens? They win a baseball game. 3 extra base hits, 9 hits on the game, 1 for 3, which is a 333 average with runners in scoring position. Only 6 runners left on base. You get the Sanchez home run, a Sanchez double, an Okamoto double, the Valenzuela walk-off. Provide offense, you win baseball games. It's really tough for the pitching to keep doing what, for example, Dylan Cease is doing: 6 innings, 1 hit, 11 strikeouts. You can't rely on that all the time. And Louis V, unfortunately, gave up a run. Guys, he's washed 0.5 ERA and the season. He sucks. Like, relievers are going to give up runs. It's going to happen. You can't put so much pressure on the pitching. So, again, I just put in those numbers there from game 1 and game 3. You're leaving runners in scoring position. For example, against Christopher Sanchez, You got to him. Yohendrick Pinango's going lefty lefty to center field, getting a double off the guy. Like we're getting to the guy a little bit. Ernie Clement had a home run against him. You're getting runners on base. You can't score any of them. So just feels like the story of the season. Had to throw that in there when the offense is not hitting for power. Yeah, talk about Vlad, talk about Springer all you want, but as a whole, you're leaving 10 runners in the scoring position. It's not really a recipe to win, even against great pitching.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. In the last series, there were a lot of role players who showed up and showed out
Yeah.
and helped us a bunch. And so when the whole team just can't hit, it's really tough. And then once you do start hitting, like we did in game one here, you just leave everyone on base and don't drive anyone in, which is really frustrating. So it's just as we've said before, nothing is clicking in totality right now, and even in like little pieces as well. Like there's just nothing clicking right now on the offensive side of things. And we've talked about guys returning forever, and it looks like Alejandro Kirk will return to the Blue Jays at some point in the Yankee series, whether that's game one on Friday or throughout the series. And so that'll help. But there's only so much Alejandro Kirk can do. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy can't bring down the whole team's chase percentage single-handedly, right? He's one player, and so we can talk about Alejandro Kirk. We can talk about Addison Barger coming back soon, and well, soon. It keeps getting pushed, but
Yeah.
those guys coming back eventually. But like the rest of your team's got to figure it out. Like you just can't hit right now. And so, yes, you need the big guys, Vladdy and Springer, and we'll get to those guys, but you also need everyone else to hit like they did in the series before this. So, real frustrating series to watch offensively outside of game two, which was a lot of fun to watch actually. But
Yeah.
games one and three just lacked oomph and yeah, and I mean that they're facing good pitchers. That's another thing. Like you can't
Yeah.
dog on them too much because the Phillies just like rolled out their playoff rotation there
Yeah.
against the Blue Jays in a series in June. Like it's just it's nuts how good these starting pitchers were and like Jesus Luzardo is kind of like the odd man out. Jesus Luzardo was excellent yesterday, and he's still a good pitcher. Just uh, people are kind of turned off by the ERA sometimes,
Yeah.
but all the other stats and peripherals you look at, he's supposed to be right up there with some of the best pitchers in the NL and really the all of baseball. And so just three of the best pitchers in the league are facing in a series, and you lose two out of three games, and a lot of the fingers are pointing to the offense, and maybe a lot of that was because of the pitching, but we hit well against good pitching. That was the whole thing going into the series.
Yeah.
If we hit well against good pitching, we're going to do well this series, and we didn't do well. So that whole narrative kind of
Yeah.
stopped this series. It seems, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe I'm going to stop that. I mean, we're not going to get Garrett Cole, and I think we get Cam Schlittler in the Yankee series, but we don't get a Rodon. Freed is out. So we can't use that too much. We got like Ryan Weathers and Will Warren. I don't know, but like, because I'm thinking if we got Aaron Nola and Andrew Painter in the series, probably would have been diced up even more. Like the Ernie home run against Christopher Sanchez doesn't even happen probably if it's Aaron Nola, who's been terrible this year. He's got like a 6 ERA, but he probably would have diced us up. Go figures, the Jays. Again, even in game two, you look at game two against Yohan Duran, who pitched in all three games of the series, I believe, which I've never seen before, like a closer all three games. Talk about Louis' health all the time. We never want him doing that. They're throwing Duran out there, who had an injury this year. This guy wasn't pitching most of May, just came back. So Don Mattingly, I don't know, old school baseball, back in the house, back in the six, and he's doing it against us. So he really wanted to beat us there. But he brings out Duran, who's one of the best. You beat him in game two, but like again, it's a ball in the dirt. Miles Straw scoring on that. It's a Brandon Valenzuela single. You're playing the small ball game. As much as I love watching that, and as cool as that walk-off win was, is it sustainable to keep winning like that against great pitching? Like, that's not going to happen against Yohan Duran every single time. You can't rely on Duran to just throw a splitter into the ground and it bounces 100 feet away, right? That seemed like a bit of an outlier. That happens on occasion. A pitch will get away from you. And then for him to leave a fastball right down the middle for Valenzuela, how much is he going to do that, right? So this is why you need the power to just, again, alleviate some of that pressure from the pitching staff and so, from some of the big guys in the lineup. Make contact when you have guys on base. It's just really what we're looking for. It might seem easy to say. I don't know what it's like to step in the batter's box against 95 or 100 or any of that, but it just seems like we keep getting the runners on base. You know, we make contact against these good pitchers like a Sanchez. I don't know how many hits we got against him, but again, 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. It's not like they were getting completely shut out. Like he finished the game with one run. It was the Ernie home run, but it didn't feel like he was in complete cruise control the entire game. Like again, the Pinango double up there. I think Okamoto poked one down the line or someone. There were a couple of extra base hits in that game. You just can't cash them. So just tough when you're not getting the power in the lineup. But where are you supposed to get the power from? Again, we're doing it again. I should go back and track like how many episodes in a row have we had this guy in the series struggle? It's Vlad. He's in the series struggle seemingly every single series. Tried the man in the leadoff spot in game two. George Springer gets the off day. Vladdy, you're going to leadoff spot. We're not sending you down in the order. You're not getting demoted. You're not one of these guys that's going to go down in the order. We're moving you up. You're not performing well, so you're moving up in the order. First time since the end of 2024, which is crazy that he was doing that. I think it was to get 200 hits in that season, but first time since then that he's in the leadoff spot, it didn't do anything. It did not do anything. Nothing absolutely changed. I didn't see any difference in the approach, honestly, when I was talking about how lost he looked at the plate. The chase might not have been as bad, but still whiffing at pitches out of the zone, getting jammed on fastballs inside. Like the Will Warren grand slam from last year, that's 96 on the hands. He's pulling the hands at that, driving into left field. Everything that's in at the hands now, he's just hitting a little dribbler to third base. Like he's just getting jammed every time. So 2 for 11 in the series, 172 in his last 7 days. I don't know what the fix is. We just got to keep waiting. He keeps saying, guys, I'm good. Just wait on me. When I get hot, I'll get hot. When are you going to get hot? I don't know. Like I want him to get hot. Obviously, I want him to perform for this team. We tried him in the 2 spot. Remember against the Tigers, immediately hits a home run and then goes back to doing nothing. Put him in the leadoff spot for one game, does nothing. Okay, you're back in the 3 spot. I don't know. Just try him in the 5 spot at this point. Shelter him a little bit. Have some of the guys that have been hitting well at the top of the lineup, but like a Sanchez cleanup or something, and then Vlad fifth for a game. I'm not saying put him ninth because obviously he's not going to accept that, or seventh or whatever. Try him fifth for the game because I don't know what they're going to do with this. They're not going to send the guy to AAA or something. Like I don't know what to do with him at this point. We want to keep waiting, but I just don't know how much longer the fans are going to keep waiting before, I don't know, we hear some boos at the stadium or something, because it's been a bad stretch for like a month and a half by now. It's been a while.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays are a very patient team. I think that's something that we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Like whether it's Jordan Romano or Jeff
Yeah.
Hoffman, like the Jays stayed with Jeff Hoffman for a year and like a
Yep.
quarter. Like it was a long time and longer, a lot longer than a lot of teams would have. And so same thing I think can apply to this. I laughed when I saw the lineup for game two when he was hitting leadoff, just because like
Uh,
you have the 720 OPS and you're batting like 300, like just ideal profile for a leadoff hitter. Let's just throw
yep.
you up there. But like I think the 2-3 hole is a good spot for him to just adjust. And I mean we like I don't think there's going to be anything they're going to do with him. There's not really anything you can do with them.
Yeah.
I don't think moving him up and down the lineup is going to help him mechanically if that's really the problem. And so he's just got to figure it out. And so he came up with that quote I think last week, like guys don't worry about me.
Yep.
I'll figure it all out. And then I
Yep.
was like, you know what? You're right. Like you are right. I think that is so true. So I'm not worrying about Vlad. I'm not worrying about Vlad. I trust him. And as much as we're just gonna sit here and see him ground out every time he's at plate, like I just think you just got to stick with him. And
Yeah.
like we're in June. June is 2 months into the season. Like it's a long time, but it's still he can still hit 20, 25 home runs. He's been on those stretches before, and many other players have as well. 2024, he wasn't good at the start of the season. Went on the heater, was batting like 330 at the end of the year with like 28, 30 bombs, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, like, just stick with them. And it is frustrating, but there's nothing the Blue Jays can do. This is the guy you gave $500 million to. You saw him succeed at many different points in his career and at the highest leverage points of his career. I just think we should just stop worrying about him.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of other things to worry about, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Is not really a worry for me. It's all going to fall into place.
Yeah.
When that is, I hope sooner rather than later, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, look, Fernando Tatis just got a second home run of the year. walk-off salami, takes the shirt off. He's going crazy lately. He's got like a 400 averages last month or something. That's seemingly all it takes. Like he got the first one, I remember at the end of May, I think, and then he's going on a heater. He got the one finally, and then all of a sudden it's clicking. And they keep saying that. Like Schneider keeps saying before the games, he just needs one swing to feel it. I guarantee you, the first time he hits a home run, I don't know, Friday night against the Yankees, Ryan Weathers, he's a lefty. I don't know, do it off Cam Schlittler. How about that? That would get the juju going. Do it off Cam Schlittler on Saturday. Something, just one swing, even if it's not a home run, just rip a double down the line because we haven't even seen doubles, man. Like there's just no power. I don't remember the last time he's hit a ball 100 miles an hour off the bat, which is what he's famous for. Like he's not going to hit. This is why we're not seeing the 48 home runs again or the 40 or 30, whatever. It's because he's so much of a line drive hitter. And he's got the lowest launch angle in the league at like 1 degree or something like that. He's going to hit line drives, but we're not even seeing that right now, which just sucks. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset if he's not hitting the home runs, if he's still batting like 350, with the 900 OPS. Remember, first month of the season, April, that's what he was doing. He was batting like 350, 900 OPS, just doubles down the line. That's what he was doing. No tanks, obviously. He wasn't doing that, but still ripping the baseball, very productive. When you look at the last like month and a half, it's like a 150 average, and the slugging is like 200 or something because he's not even hitting doubles. So that's all I need to see. Do it Friday night against Ryan Weathers. He's a lefty. He's going to hang a curveball over the plate. Just rip it down the left field line. I don't even need a home run. Just rip it down the line. That's all I need to see. And can we not get the cameraman who did, I think, with the Okamoto home run, who like launched the camera all
That
the way
was
up
so
there?
tough.
I swear, because if they do
Uh,
that with a Vlad home run, everyone's thinking this is it. This is the moment, and then it's a pop up. I swear, because they did that. I can't remember against what other team they did. I think it was the A's who finally played at Vegas. You know what? That's where Vlad needs to go. By the way, I just realized because that that field is like 310 to left field or something like that. They did the same thing there. I thought there was a home run, but you look at that stadium. It was like a 15-14 game Brewers A's. Get Vlad there at some point. I don't know. Just let him launch a couple. I thought he was going to do it when we went to the Bronx end of May. Not really because they got the short porch there. Regardless, just need to rip a ball down the line. That'll get him going. I think it just takes the one swing. You feel the juju a little bit, feel the ball just hit the barrel. That's all you need. Like that's such a sweet feeling when you hit the barrel. So hopefully he can do that. But unfortunately, there is another guy who is supposed to be your big thumper at the top of the lineup, and he's just not doing it right now. George Springer. I mean, you saw them take him out of the lineup game 2 against Zach Wheeler. You have the two lefties in the series, so you're thinking, okay, take him out against a righty. I guess that's fair. Some other teams do that. You don't want the right on right matchup, and you take some of your better hitters out against great pitching. Like I think that was a big discussion with Ketel Marte. He was taken out of a lineup with Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Like apparently, guys do this when you have one of your better hitters. You take him out against good pitching. I didn't think that was the case, but apparently this is a big thing. I don't know. Guys do that. So you're thinking, okay, take George Springer out against Zach Wheeler. Well, George Springer hasn't been your big hitter this year. Like he's batting 200 with like a 600 OPS. So I'm just wondering, is this a sign of you have the four lefties in the outfield? Is this a sign that George Springer isn't becoming or is not a full-time player anymore and is becoming, I'm not going to call it a bench player. I'm not going to call it a role player, a part-time player, any of that. Just maybe drifting out of playing 6 out of 7 days a week or 5 out of 6 to maybe 4 out of 6, right? Like I'm not going to say he's going to play 2 out of 6. I remember we were getting to that in 2024 when he was batting like 180 or something. Not like that. Is he maybe a 4 out of 6 guy, a 4 out of 7 guy, 5 out of 7, something like that? I feel like we're getting to that point. 1 for 7 in the series, 190 in his last 7 days. Same thing as Vlad, just not squaring up baseballs, not hitting baseballs hard, no line drives. Unfortunately, with Pinango doing what he's doing and Lucas doing what he's doing and Sanchez and all those guys, I feel like Springer is becoming like a 4 out of 6 a week kind of guy. I just feel like that's where we're at with it.
yeah, I'm not reading into the him not starting in game 2 thing at all. I think
Yeah.
that's purely like just giving him a breather. I don't think
Yeah.
it's them trying to even out the playing time. And the whole Ketel Marte situation was weird, but it seemed like Torey Labello cleared that up a bit. Like
Yeah.
what I think is just like a reporter asked a player something, and the player's like, "Oh, Catel's getting a day off against Cattell against Otani, whatever," and then the reporter just blew the thing all the way
Yep.
up, and Cattell Marte gets such a bad rap, but I don't think there's anything there either. So, but what I am reading into is John Schneider's comments about like Hendrik Pinango seeing more time at DH,
Yeah.
and so George Springer playing in the field more, which we never see George Springer play in the field. So I just think that that's a sign like, hey, you're our DH. DHs are supposed to smash the ball like crazy. You're supposed to be our best hitter and to really make an impact because you can't play in the field. You better make up for it at the plate. George Springer has not been doing that. So,
Yeah.
kind of interesting that John Schneider says that a manager who is so patient with his players, so supportive of his players, and
Yeah.
like, why not? Like, well, why not? I guess, right? Because
Yeah.
I still think George Springer at 36 is a better fielder than Yohendry Pinango at like 23. So, why
Oh,
not for that aspect, but also just getting more production out of the DH spot, as the Blue Jays are probably one of the worst teams this season. I don't have the stat, but I'm just sure that it's something out there, or just like have one of the worst production from the DH spot. I'm just sure that's a case. Like I'm sure our
yeah.
DH, like whoever bats in the DH spot is has batting average of like 210 with like
Yeah.
4 homers, which is just awful. Like you
Yeah.
just cannot do that. So I'm reading into that more than the day off thing. Just probably giving him a breather, but like who knows? Like maybe that's it's not a sign of a demotion, but it's a sign of a hey dude, you got to like pick it up, man. Like if you were swinging like crazy, you would not be playing in the field, and your DH spot wouldn't be getting filled by other guys. So
Yeah.
just interesting stuff that John Schneider said. Forget which game that was, maybe before game one. And yeah, so maybe they start that going into the Yankees series or in a few weeks. But either way, I just thought that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, again, you don't want Pinango in the field, right? Like even on that Bryce Harper home run in the first inning there, I'm watching it. He's like turning around backwards. He doesn't know where he is. Like we obviously do not want him in the field. We've seen this many a time so far, and he hasn't been up more than like a month or so, a month and a half, and we've seen it happen multiple times. And again, they put him in there against Sanchez. Like this is a rookie. Like you said, 23 years old. He's a lefty hitter against arguably I don't even think it's arguably the best lefty in the game. And you put him in there. I think he was batting nine in that game, but still, he's in the
And
lineup.
Chris Sale as well, I believe, right?
Yeah. Like he's in the lineup. There's
So
another great lefty. Like Sanchez is better, I'd say, this year. Obviously, he's got like a 1.3 ERA or something. Front runner for the Cy Young right now, probably. But still, he's in there against those two lefties. That's a sign. Again, that goes to show what they think of him. They're confident putting him in the lineup. And again, I just don't want when we have Sanchez out there in the outfield as well. We know what he's like. Can be sloppy at times, right? Nathan Lucas, you're okay with that. Varsho when he comes back, like we haven't talked about Dalton Varsho in a while, still having that wrist thing going on. What's going on there? I hope he's okay. They're thinking to avoid an IL stint because I mean, if you have him go on the IL, that's as much as he had been cooling off a little bit, like one of your more consistent bats this year. So hopefully he doesn't go on the IL. But speaking of the defense, him, Nathan Lucas, Miles Straw, obviously you're okay with those guys. David Schneider, when he was here, you're okay with those guys in the outfield. Sanchez and Pinango, the defense is rough. So I pulled up actually the All Star ballot, and when you just filter it by OPS for the DH spot, obviously you got Jordan in the AL. Jordan, a 1,000 OPS. The guy's obviously going crazy with Aaron Judge out. Like I know DHs don't win MVPs, but I feel like he's kind of up there with the what a 316 average,
yeah,
22 tanks. You got the Yandy Diaz's, the Sammy Basayos. You go down to the bottom. Colt Keith has a 623 OPS. That's the worst. Again, of qualified guys on the All Star ballot.
wow.
Yeah, George Springer's next with a 204 average and a 634 OPS. Like,
Oh
and
my
actually, and when you
goodness.
filter it by average, yeah, he's tied with Brent Rooker at the bottom. Brent Rooker's been terrible this year, but still, point is he's pretty much at the bottom. When you filter it by every category, filter it by home runs, by RBIs, everything on the All Star ballot, he's at the bottom and everything. And obviously, defense does not factor into that, right? So they're going purely off offense. Like when you look at a Bobby Witt, for example, got like an 800 OPS, but he might win the MVP because he's so stellar at shortstop, right? And he's a great athlete. Like you said, George Springer's not providing any of that. So when you're the DH, you're expected to hit and you're not. That's where I was saying about the playing time. Like, I'm not saying we need to send this guy to a 4 to 6 games or 4 to 7 games because it's like the Cattell thing and you just don't want to face good pitching. It's not because of that. I mean, it just so happened that Zach Wheeler was on the mound. They might have done the same thing if it was Aaron Nola, right? Like, it's a righty on the mound. Sure. Okay. You get the off day, put the lefties in there. I don't think it's because of the pitcher. I just think, like you said, it's because you want production in the lineup. And again, when you're 3 games under 500 in mid-June and you need to win baseball games to get back into this thing, you need to play the best players, right? Like that's how you're going to win baseball games. Unfortunately, right now, Vlad and Springer are negative assets to the team. With the eye test, it's pretty clear to see that, right? When you're grounding balls to third base and striking out half the time, that's unfortunately not providing a lot of value to the team. So yeah, it'd be curious to see how they continue that the rest of the season. I don't know how much longer Pinango's up here. Like again, I still wonder when Barger comes back, what do? Is it just McAdoo goes down? But are they going to say, well, we want a righty in there, right? So send Pinongo down because he's a lefty. I don't know. Like Lenine Sosa is still down there, and I can't believe they still have this guy down there. Are they expecting to really bring him back and then give him everyday playing time when he comes back? Like I thought it was just send him on the IL and then ship him off and then DFA him and send him back to the White Sox or something. No, we still have this guy down there. It sounds like we're expecting him to come back and have at bats for this team. So okay, McAdoo goes down for him, and then who goes down for Barger? Is it going to be Pinongo again? Like it, I don't really want that to be the case. To be honest, it just seems like to me they want to play the platoons too much. I again look at the Pinongo at bat against Sanchez, line drive double to center field. I think you probably agree with me here. I just want the best bats in the lineup, and I don't care if there's 5 lefties in the outfield. I want all the lefties in there because to me, Springer's not doing it right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just it is an uncomfortable situation. Like
Yeah,
ideally you do not want this many lefties, and then
no, of course not.
Sean Keys is crushing the ball. And
Yeah,
people are like, hey, if Sean Keys keeps doing this, like doesn't matter the fit, he'll be playing for the Blue Jays. I have no idea where Sean Keys would fit on the Blue Jays, nor our 5 left-handed outfielders. Like it's just not ideal. And um, you know how that's kind of all sorted out. It's through a trade, so maybe some of these guys are trade chips because you just
yeah,
can't really do with all this. Like you Hendrick, your stats look incredible in MLB,
yeah.
in the majors right now, and you'll enjoy playing next to Alan Roden on the Twins. Like maybe something like that, maybe something like
Oh,
that. But I
there you
don't know.
go.
That's the only thing I can think to really sort this out. It's just an uncomfortable situation to navigate.
Is that the Joe Ryan deal right there? Did we just figure it
I
out
don't know.
on the fly? Maybe we just figured it out right there because there's no one
One
else.
for one, one for
Just
one.
do it. Honestly, I feel like that's a win-win. Alan Roden can't even make the Twins right now. He hasn't even played this
They
year.
would want much more than Piniago.
Yeah,
Like
of course, obviously, but
he, whatever, Johnny King and like those guys too. So
ooh, see, I mean that guy's been Dyson, man. That guy's been really good. He's got like a 1.5 ERA at Vancouver this year. I don't know, like throw in maybe do a 1-for-1 for Sean Keys, given how good he's been. I just pulled up his numbers. He's got like a 993 OPS at Double A.
yeah,
14 tanks in the games he played, 285 average, 49 games with Double A, 14 tanks. So, I mean, again, like you said, where are you going to play that guy? So, unfortunately, some of these guys are going to become trade chips. You don't want to get rid of the veterans, obviously, right? Like a Nathan Lucas, Dalton Varsho, Jesus Sanchez, who you just brought in. So, like, yeah, is Pinongo the odd man out? And again, with Barger coming back as well. So, maybe he's the odd man out. You know, put a package together. Sean Keys, Pinongo for Scooble. I don't know. They need offense, all they can get.
that gets you nowhere in a deal for Scoople. Sadly,
Of
those are our
course.
best prospects, and it'll get
I
you
know.
nowhere, which is
Oh,
so
you'd,
sad.
you'd
But
you'd have to throw in a JoJo Parker and, like you said, a Johnny King and all these guys,
yeah,
Arjun and all those guys. No, we're not doing that. Which is why, for a lot of teams, unless you're the Dodgers, like who's giving up those kind of prospects for Scooble? I don't know who's doing it. So we'll see how it plays out. Lots of lefties in the outfield, but let's go to our series standouts here. Not a lot, unfortunately, because it is a series loss. Not a lot of series standouts, but one that really stood out to me was Dylan Cease. Obviously, coming back from the hamstring injury, looked unbelievable. Looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Touching 100 with regularity. The sliders moving. 11 strikeouts, 6 innings, 99 pitches. Absolutely dicing. I'm sticking with it, calling him the ace. Like Kevin Gosman, again, has been solid, but this guy's just doing it different. Leading the AL in strikeouts still after missing 15 days, 103 on the season, most whiffs of a pitcher in baseball this season. And on top of that, the most whiffs in a start in Blue Jays franchise history with 29. You're breaking records like that in your first start back from an injury after the guy had not been injured in about 5 or 6 years. Like, remember, look at his game log, look at his baseball reference. Guy hasn't pitched in AAA since like 2018 because he's never injured. He's always out there. So for him to finally go through an injury, which you're thinking maybe throws off his routine a little bit, like he's not used to this being on the shelf, probably drawing a lot of stuff and doing a lot of Toronto paintings and drawing his art and all that. I don't know. That kept him fresh. That kept him healthy. And you know what? He looked like he hadn't missed a beat, touching 100 with regularity. He's just back to doing his thing. And again, Cy Young contention. I keep bringing this up. Like if it's not Cam Schlittler, I feel like it's them two, like 1-2 in the AL. Because NL, you got Sanchez, you got Mizorowski, Skeens is always there, Yamamoto, Otani. Like the competition in the AL, Crochet goes down immediately, right? Like Scooble. I don't know. You missed a little bit of time, and what's he going to look like when he comes back? I made a prediction back in like December when I did my predictions video. I said top five in Cy Young for Dylan Cease. I'm calling it now June 11th, top three. I'm booking it top three Cy Young. I'm not a betting man, but I'm going to say top three the way he's pitching.
Yeah, well, it was a fantastic outing, but the few outings before that were not good at all. You go back to AAA, it was 5 runs, I think 2 bombs, and what like 3 or 4 innings,
Eh,
and
AAA.
and then the two starts in majors in the majors before that, um, they weren't impressive either. So I thought that was more impressive to see that he's just back on track. It's a whole other thing to just be impressed by him coming off the IL and doing this. But
Yeah.
to see him like get back to his form after a few rough outings, even in the minors, I think is very nice for the Blue Jays in a season that has not had many highs and a whole lot of lows. So
Yeah.
um, he was incredible. I was watching the game with my dad. I was like, oh, he's at 96. What's going on? The next 3 pitches, like 98, 99, 100, strikes out the guy. Like it was incredible. And he's such a fun
Yeah.
player to watch. My mom, not a big baseball person. Um, it's her favorite player. We went to his first start as a
Hey.
Blue Jay against the A's, and he struck out like 12 guys. So not a bad
Yeah.
first impression, but she loves watching Dylan Cease, and so do I. He's been incredible.
Yeah. What more can you ask from the guy? Like biggest free agent contract, because aside from Vlad, who got 500 mil, it's biggest free agent contract franchise history. He's living up to it, I would say so far. Like, yeah, he had the rough outings, like the Pittsburgh outing. I remember the last one before he went down. Was that just because of the hammy? I don't know. Was it a little tight, and then he couldn't locate some of his pitches? Maybe. Like the Yankee start. Okay, that one wasn't great either. He gave up a couple of home runs, like Ben Rice turning on 98 at the hands. I don't know. I don't want to call that luck. Of course, it's just a phenomenal swing, but how many guys are going to turn on 99 at the hands? I don't know. So you get that with him. Like we talked about this in the offseason. You got to deal with a bit of command stuff and some of the hard hit stuff. Well, again, one walk in this outing. You go back to that stretch, I think early May, where he had 7 straight innings in all, or 7 innings in all three of those starts, 3 straight starts. He had like 1 or 2 walks combined in those 21 innings. So he seems to have figured out the command. Shout out to the Blue Jays pitching staff. Like they've obviously figured it out. The head nod where he's like looking away from the mound. That kind of works. I don't know what he's figured out there, but it works. He's eating a lot of oysters. Talked with Hazel before the game yesterday. A lot of oysters, a lot of lobster rolls. It's working. Whatever he's doing, again, the paintings he's doing, eating the lobsters, like he's such an interesting man. Like the guys keep talking about it. He's one of the most interesting guys on the team. Such a creative guy, and he's creative on the mound as well. Again, the way he mixes his pitches, like that changeup, like front door changeup on a lefty, thinks it's going to hit the guy. Does it with the two seamer as well, like front hip two seamers. It's just beautiful to watch. He's painting when he's on the mound as well. Huge. Like again, I talk about the Cy Young stuff and we're in mid June here and all that. I don't even focus on that too much. Just looking at the numbers, what he's provided you, given what you spent on the guy, I think he's been worth every penny. I don't know how anyone can argue otherwise. Deal with the odd blow up start. Sure. Okay, it's going to happen. But even his blow up starts are going to be like 4 or 5 runs, not Max Scherzer type when you're giving up 10 to the Royals. So we're not quite getting to that territory. What I'm saying here is just that Dylan Cease has been great, and I expect it to continue the rest of the season. Someone who I don't know, is it going to continue? Maybe. I don't know. SWR, man. I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the open. Like 4 innings from this guy, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts against, again, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. Brandon Marsh has like a 900 OPS and is leading the league in average as well. Like crazy for that guy. So he shut down that lineup. Fastball up 1.8 miles an hour. And I think induced vertical break was the other metric I saw as well. And again, I don't understand all the stats, and I know you're more of a stats guy, but I think it added like 1 inch of horizontal movement or something like that. And that was a big thing on adding on a fastball, like from 19 to 20 inches. Horizontal movement is huge on a fastball. I see the velo go up. That's all I need to see, like 2 miles an hour. And you mentioned horrible as a twin starter, like an 8 ERA. So maybe he's just a long bulk guy. Like as a starter, I don't know if I like the prospect of that, because can he sustain? He's proven, I think, that he can't sustain 94, 95 over a start. He's like a Patrick Corbin guy. He's like 92, right? So maybe as a long relief guy, that's better suited for him.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I think the velo uptick may be less so that the Blue Jays found something, and just more so he came out of the bullpen and just can kind of
Yeah.
throw as
Yeah.
hard as he can, and as opposed to like preserving it over a whole 5 innings or even less, because he rarely got to 5 innings. So um, yeah, he looked good. He looked good, and they
Yeah.
mentioned something on the broadcast. He's like 25 years old. still, like, which is just
Crazy.
crazy, which is
Yeah.
just nuts. He feels like 27, 28. And so, yeah, like this guy was kind of pitching for his life. And, and if he had a bad start, he was getting DFA'd. Like we know that for sure.
Yeah.
They had an option, Adam Macko instead of,
Man.
DFAing this guy. So, like if he wasn't good, that he was gone, and he was good, so he's staying. So, like if he's something, sure. Like if you can give us innings, we will take you right now. And it's kind of nice to have like you still got that kind of prospect feel to him a little bit. Like, whoa, did we just get a prospect for like nothing? He's still
Yeah.
25. You just like fix some things with him. Maybe change his splitter into a changeup and add some more ticks to the fastball, and you got a different pitcher. So we'll see what happens with him. We'll see what the Blue Jays do with him and how they use him. But like good first impression, good start, and I'd like to see more of Simeon Woods Richardson going forward. He was good.
Right as you say that, I'm thinking of the Yankees lineup coming to town, and I think this is a perfect time to do the Mako conversation. I was flabbergasted looking at that, honestly. Looking at what's coming to town with the Cody Bellinger possibly going to the All Star game. Ben Rice, book it. He's going to be the first baseman in the All Star game. Unbelievable as a lefty this year. Again, Jazz Chisholm, maybe not having a great year, but still good as a lefty. Three big lefties coming into town. I'm sure Austin Wells is there, and they got some other guys. You got Mason Fluharty, and that's it. That's it. You got Patrick Corbin starting Sunday, but aside from other lefties, you got Mason Fluharty. I'm sorry, Mason Fluharty is not going to pitch Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the series. It's just not happening. Like you saw them already have to work him against the Phillies a couple of times, and what did he do? He gave up a nuke to Kyle Schwarber. So I don't want Fluharty pitching all 3 days. And again, we just had like literally just had Adam Macko in the series standouts last pod. Just had him there because of the 1.5 ERA, sinkers looking good, 96, mixing up the pitches, immediately sent down. You're right. It's because of the good SWR outing. But long term, I feel like maybe again, I don't wish anything bad on the players, but I wish it had maybe been like 4 innings of 2 or 3 run ball, and then Mako gets to stay because of again the situation, circumstance of the guys coming into town. There's a lot of other lineups that have good lefties, right? Like it's not obviously just the Yankees coming into town. The Astros are going to be here eventually. Jordan Alvarez is there. I'm sorry, I don't want Mason Fluharty facing Alvarez 3 games in a row again, right? So I want lefties in there. And again, is this a sign? They talked about it a little bit. I don't know if this was just on Jay's Twitter or was this actually John Schneider talking about it, like the prospect of Brendan Little coming back. I'm like, oh boy. I looked at the AAA numbers, and again, the 2.5 ERA or whatever, it's okay, but it's like 22 innings, 21 walks. You can't have that. He's going to come in and face Ben Rice and Cody Bellinger and these guys. He's just going to walk him. He's going to hit him. He's going to walk him, give up a nuke, something. So I don't want Brendan Little back. I wanted Adam Macko here. I'm sorry, it scares me. SWR against these lefties, if he has to come in out of the bullpen, it scares me a little bit. Like having these solid lefties. Aaron Judge is not there. Sure, he's not there. Okay. But these are still thumpers in the middle of that lineup. Big Yankees lineup. Maybe. Maybe he'll prove me wrong and shut me up a little bit here. And he has 95 out of the pen and he's absolutely dicing. But I think this will be a big test. This will be a big litmus test for him to see where he's at. Because if he can handle that lineup, sure, I'm completely wrong. But I feel like I wanted Mako. I don't know where you stand with it, but I feel like I wanted Mako in just to face these lefties because you have one now in Fluharty. That's it.
Yeah, it definitely would have been nice. It just kind of felt like a move you had to make,
Yeah.
with the potential of SWR actually being something after his first outing. Like
Yeah.
if he's something at all that can give you innings, you need him, and because we're just so scarce for depth right now. So
Yeah.
I just think you kind of had to do it, and I think it also speaks to the Blue Jays' comfortability with a lot of their righty relievers facing left-handed batters,
Yeah.
and a lot of them have weapons against left-handed batters. So you think of Louis Varland with the changeup, which may be his best pitch to start the year,
Yeah.
and Jeff Hoffman with the splitter. May not be good all the time, but he's got a weapon, and
Yeah.
like there's been at the start of the season, it was his best pitch for like a few
Yeah.
weeks, and we're like, okay, he's a splitter guy, and looks like now he's a slider guy. Maybe next week he's a fastball guy. We just
Yeah.
don't know, but he's got a splitter. Like Braden Fisher, big curveball. Like I feel like some of their righty relievers can fare well against their left-handed bats, Bellinger, Chisholm, Rice. But of course, it would have been nice if you could have another left-handed reliever, especially with all the usage that Mason Fluharty has had to start the year. Like, of
Yeah.
course, you don't want to. play him in all three games like they did with Joan Duran, but also like he's pitched so much already. So how much production are you actually going to get in the one or two outings in the series? So it'll be interesting how they navigate that. And I I don't know if Cody Bellinger is doing the same thing this year, but Cody Bellinger hit worse against righties than lefties last year, and Jazz Chisholm. I think sucks against lefties, so he kind of ruins my whole point there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Ben Rice does, but like those guys, like Bellinger's pretty neutral, and then the other
Yeah.
guys, you can kind of work around. So maybe they go righty for Bellinger, and then you use Fluharty to pocket like Chisholm and Rice or something like that. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting how they do that because it's not a luxury. Like you don't have a bunch of lefty relievers you can choose to place throughout a game. No, you have
Yeah.
one, so you have to really strategically place them throughout a game. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
Regardless, I just see Ben Rice going deep in the series. He's going to become the new Aaron Judge killer while Aaron Judge is out. Like, okay, I'm going to say one, maybe two home runs in the series, whoever it is. Like, doesn't matter about the lefties and all that. Braden Fisher, I don't know, he'll launch off him or something, or I don't know, Kevin Gosman in the last game of the series, something. So, regardless, yeah, maybe that also defeats my point because would it make a difference against the lefty? He's just been going crazy this year. He's got like a 1,000 OPS, 320 average. I don't know. But when I think of Mako, now that I'm thinking of Mako, actually, if my memory serves me right, he made his debut in the Monday of the 4 game set at the end of May against the Yankees in the Bronx and ended up throwing 3 out of those 4 games, had like 3 scoreless innings, a couple of strikeouts in there. So I'm like, that was against the Yankees, like scoreless outings against the Yankees, and nothing happened with Rice and Bellinger and all those guys. He held them down. So I don't know. It just felt like that was the perfect pocket to use him, but I get it with the options and all that. I don't know how many options players get. Like, is it 3? Is it 4? Something like that. But obviously, you can use the options for him. You still have a couple more after using this one. I get that conversation. Just again, when you're thinking of you want to win baseball games now and you're using SWR against these guys, is it the best matchup? Because they like playing the matchups and doing all the stats, right? Is it the best matchup? Maybe. Maybe. And again, maybe I'll be wrong. The fastball play up out of the bullpen and Cody Bellinger sucks against righties and it'll work. And you know what? That'll be my optimism. So hopefully that's the way it works out. Let's talk about the catchers, though. The last little bit here before we get to our forecast for the Yankee series. Brandon Valenzuela, just again doing it with the walk off in game 2, just a clutch at bat right there. I don't know what more to say about the guy. I'll keep this one short because we've been talking the praises about this guy all year. Just again proving that we cannot send this man down. And like you said with Kirk, actually, who's the other guy kind of lumped into this conversation, possibly coming back tomorrow. I feel like that's what you need again with the Yankees coming to town. Perfect time to bring him back. Just throw him into the fire against Ryan Weathers and the Yankees. Just do it. Like he looks ready. Sent a ball to Mars in Dunedin when he was down there, like absolutely launched on a ball. He's going to look fine going to AAA. He's going to catch Shane Bieber. And you know what? The two guys come up together. Bieber, that's his last start. Kirk, that's his last rehab game. The two guys come up together. I'd love to see it. And again, that's probably means we've seen the end of Tyler Heineman. Like I'm just realizing whenever it was, I don't think he played in yesterday's game. And again, Valenzuela played in Tuesday's game. So I guess Monday was that the end of Tyler Heineman? Like that was it for him. They should have done a little salute to him or a little video tribute or something. Cause I feel like that was it. I don't know if we're going to have a situation where, you know what, he gets DFA'd in like August or something. We pick him up off waivers because Valenzuela's hurt or something like that. That may happen. That's just such a Tyler Heineman and Jay's thing. But as it stands right now, Valenzuela's got to stay on this team. And I think that is the last that we've seen of Tyler Heineman on the Blue Jays.
Yeah, this one felt like very certain. It felt more like a statement, the whole
Yeah.
walk off thing. And I saw someone on Twitter like post Tyler Heineman's reaction to the walk off.
Oh my God.
Thought that was funny a little bit.
Yep.
And so it just feels more of a statement. And we're not really talking about like who's going down now. I think it's a given that Brandon
Yeah.
Valenzuela is going to stay up. I mean, the guy's batting sixth. I think he did the other day, and just like
Mm-hmm.
that's insane for a backup catcher. And so um, you just want the guys who can help you win now, and Brandon Valenzuela easily does that better than Tyler Heineman right now. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
you're keeping them, and Alejandro Kirk and Brandon Valenzuela as a dynamic, it's going to be really fun. So, looking forward
Yeah.
to that in the next 5, 6 years of them together, whatever it is.
Yeah. Because Valenzuela's got team control in like to like 2032, I think I saw.
Yeah,
2032.
something
Like,
like
again,
that.
no expectations for the guy coming into the season. Can he sustain it? I'm not expecting him to sustain an 800 OPS the rest of the year. We never expect that out of a backup catcher, regardless. Like Tyler Heineman putting up the 800 OPS he did last year in the 2.1 B war or something. I don't know. He had like the 500 BABIP. Talk about the Jeff Hoffman BABIP. This guy had like a 600 BABIP last year. I don't know. You look at Tyler Heineman exit velo from last year. It can't be good. It can't be good. It's got to be lower than 50th percentile. So you don't expect a lot for a catcher, but when you look at the two of them, man, Brandon Valenzuela is absolutely crushing the baseball when he hits it. It's not like Heineman. You see these balls he's hitting to the outfield, dude. He's hitting them well over the wall. Like that's not these little Las Vegas home runs, hit it 310, barely scrape it over the wall. No, he's absolutely pelting baseballs right now. So even if he is the backup, and I still feel like they are going to ease Kirk into it a little bit, like is it a guarantee that right away he catches every 2 out of 3 games in a series? Maybe. I don't know. Like maybe they ease him into it a little bit the way Valenzuela's been playing. If it's a 4 game set, 2-2. I think that's easy. Play them 2-2. Valenzuela's proven he can do it. Talk about the Heineman 1.1 1 point or what am I saying here? The 2.1 B war from last year. Didn't you say Valenzuela in terms of Fangraphs is like 1.5 already? After the walk off, maybe he's at like a 1.6 now or 1.7. And we're again mid-June right here. So it's a given he has to stay. Like you said, it's a statement. We're not asking as a question anymore. He's staying on this baseball team. Let's go to our forecast, though. That takes us to our forecast for the Yankees series. Not facing the big dogs. And maybe, like you said, this is where we shift the narrative. Oh, the Jays just beat up on the big dogs because we didn't really do that against the Phillies. So you're getting Trey Savage game 1 against Ryan Weathers, the lefty. We did pretty good against him last time we faced him in the Yankees series. Remember, Ernie had a 3-run shot off him. Kevin Gausman, Cam Schlittler in game 2. What a matchup between those guys. Don't like the Cam Schlittler matchup. Again, he kind of dices against us. And then Patrick Corbin versus Will Warren game 3. I got to go 2 out of 3 here. I got to ride it. Like, I don't know. There's not many series where I go into. I think the Brave series was the only one where I was like, okay, 1 out of 3 facing the best team in baseball. I got to go 2 out of 3 here. Trey Savage, again, what we've seen against the Yankees, dice them up in the ALDS. We remember that very well. Then you go to the Bronx. What did he do in the last game of that series? Trey Savage versus Cam Schlittler. Outdueled him. I'm sorry, he outdueled him in that game. So I like that matchup. And you know what? As much as I just said the stuff about Patrick Corbin, I feel like that's the game we win. It's Will Warren on the mound. Maybe. Is that the game Vlad wakes up? I don't know. But I'm going to say those are the 2 games we win, 2 out of 3 against the Yankees.
I'm gonna go. Patrick Corbin is not starting in the series. It is Dylan Cease jumping ahead of Patrick Corbin because of
Oh,
the off day today. And
okay.
so our 3 starting pitchers are Trey Savage, Kevin Gausman, and Dylan Cease, which
Interesting.
is like a playoff rotation. That's
Yeah.
not what's scheduled right now. It's not what MLB.com has, but I think it'd be a little fun wrinkle into
Yeah.
everything. And if that's the case, I'm going sweep. I think this would put
Okay.
us right back on track, and the Yankees do that to us. So, Savage, Gosman, Cease. Oh man, that'd be such a fun watch, and not the best Yankees hand they have right now, like starting pitching wise. Ryan Weathers, guy who's got good stuff, but feels rather inconsistent start by start. Cam
Yeah.
Schlittler is a Cy Young, like perennial Cy Young right now, so
Yeah.
nothing bad to say there. And but we've always kind of had his number,
Yeah.
like going back to last year, starting the regular season where we crushed them, and then playoffs
Yeah.
where we did okay against them, and then Will Warren. Everyone knows how well we like Will Warren, so I'm going sweep. I'm going sweep. Let's sweep
Hey.
the deck. Let's get back to 500. I think if we
Yeah.
if we sweep, we're back
Yeah.
to 500. So here we go. Here we go. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
36 and 36 sounds a lot better than what I guess 34 and 37 or 35, 37, something like that. So
Yeah.
definitely I like that getting to 500 because you look at some of the other series we have coming up, like Red Sox come to town after that. Or actually, I don't know if we go to Fenway or they come to town, but we're facing the Red Sox next. Not been good this year. Like again, some of the pitchers that have been out for them, the Crochets and Brian Bayo's been awful and went to AAA, and some bad things going on in that clubhouse right now. Red Sox come to town. You feel good against them. Chicago Cubs, same sort of thing. A lot of guys that are not hitting right now. Think of Alex Bregman with like the 650 OPS, whatever. The Astros, aside from Jordan Alvarez, not hitting a whole lot. The Mets, I'm sorry, but Bo Bichette, as much as I love the guy and the rest of that lineup, have not been good aside from Juan Soto. So you look at some of these matchups, these feel like series that you have to take. Some of the pitching as well isn't great in these series. So you have to get back to 500 here. At minimum, take 2 out of 3. We'll leave it at that. I love the optimism. Take 2 out of 3 at minimum. I feel way better if it is Dylan Cease. If you're right about that, I love it. Work that into the series. I love it if they do that. At minimum, take 2 out of 3. But I like the optimism on the sweep. Get back to 500. Thank you for writing us. We will be back with you after the Yankee series. And as always, go Jays.